It's 6 a.m. in the village of Haro, and Abanagar starts his day in the only way he can afford. A cup of strong coffee and a few mouthfuls of akawi, a sort of sorghum popcorn. At 60 years old, he's been a coffee farmer all his life, and he's never known things this bad. Aya is his third wife, and between them they have 8 children. They can only afford to keep 2 of them at home. The others have to live with relatives in town. Every day, Abaniga and Aya head off to tend their tiny coffee plantation. In this part of Ethiopia, 85% of the people rely on coffee as their only source of income. Like their neighbours, they know that going to work each day is hardly worth the effort. If he's lucky, Abaniga will get 600 kilos of the prized red cherries or raw beans from his trees. At current prices, their crop from an entire year's work will earn them about $10. Even in Ethiopia, that's nowhere near enough, even for the basics. Aya and Abaniga are just one of the 1.2 million families growing coffee in Ethiopia. They are all in such desperate straits that the aid agency Oxfam has launched an international campaign to confront what it's termed the coffee crisis.
We have to consider other projects.
The Ethiopian director of the campaign is Abira. He's taking us to the Kaffa province, just to the west of the Great Rift Valley, which is widely recognized as the birthplace of the world's most popular drink.
This is the birthplace of coffee. They are keeping, this historical place for us. And then people come here and visit and talk to them. And so they are precious for us here.
Right. Are these coffee farmers, are they still producing coffee?
They are still producing coffee. And we are asking, for example, there is a crisis. Why are you producing coffee? They are saying that coffee is our culture. Coffee is our identity.
Right. So let's go.
Yes, please. Yadim.
The legend is that 1,000 years ago in this very forest, a shepherd noticed his goat was happier after eating the coffee berries and tried some himself, starting the world's most widespread addiction. Wild coffee still grows all over the forest.
This is wild coffee, and as you see, it grows under this very big trees. And that is it doesn't need any fertilizer or any pesticide or anything else. Just grows like this.
Is it good quality coffee?
It's very good quality coffee. Very excellent.
All of these farmers know nothing but coffee. They've grown little else for generations.
amma dhaqeetii xiqqimsaatiin arganne amma darajaa buna illee buqqisee balleessee buna kana har'aa waggaa 800 fi 20 olitti kan ture taarikiin buna kana iddoo kan nuti dabarsaafanii
malee waan nyaannu waan bullu amma dhabira siin qabnu beekaa dhabbe.
At this particular time, they have nothing to eat, and they are asking the government and the donor organizations really to be supported, to get, some supplementary food or food aid.
This crisis has arisen because the world price for coffee has collapsed. These farmers receive less than 15 cents a kilo for their raw berries, a fall of 70% in just the last 4 years. And the tragedy is there's nothing they can do about it. The International Coffee Organization, or ICO, which regulated prices, collapsed over a decade ago, leaving coffee farmers at the mercy of the big buyers.
More than 50% of the coffee market is dominated by 5 or 4 multinational corporations. So they are the price makers. The farmer is not the price maker. The roaster, gives the price. So the farmers take the price that the multinational corporations give for the coffee market. Again, there is no other organization or somewhat like OPEC, for oil. The ICO is already out, and there is just no organization which will follow up on the price of coffee. Biyya Austraaliyaa keessatti bunni shinii tokko birri 24 hoggaa nu binnee dhugnu hoggaati immoo homaan arganne kana maaltu sitti dhagahama ammasiin siin jedha.
Dhiphina qofa ka. Ammamti nutti dhagahame rakkinatu nutti dhagahame ka duwwaa baneemteef hin jiru. Maaliif jennaan inni silachi hojjetame inni achi xawwasitti gurgurame warra waa Afrikaa qabu taamni Afrikaa qabu tuyye achi karaa tokko nurkaa fuudhee tola kana ittiin fudhatee achi dabartee isi ofii fayyadame malee nu warri buna dhaabne nu warri buna hojjenne nu warri buna jiraannu du'aadhuma. Ammas immoo waa tokko waan nyaannu qabnu waan fudhannu gororoon keenya duwwaadha isinii mangistii beekaa waan taatan nu taasisaa isinii.
Nu kunoo waggaadhanuutti laffaanaan hojjenna gatiin nu jalaa kufaa. Jirri mugati guddattee qaqqabsiifatu egaa rabbi biraatiin akka nutti beeknutti akkuma tokko akka nu dhageenyutti matsaafaanis jibbamaadha nu birattis immoo badaa dadhabbina irratti kan nu kuffisu yesuma kas.
Supporters of globalisation suggest that the market will sort out these difficulties. The theory goes that when the price of coffee falls at the auction houses in Addis Ababa, then the farmers should get out of the business of growing coffee and start growing something else, a crop they can make a decent living from. But those who understand the market and know the reality of life on the coffee farms say this is plainly impractical.
It's not easy for coffee growers to get out of the market even though the price is so low. In Ethiopia, for example, the land holdings are too small, the land quality is too poor for them to change over to food. So in a sense they're caught in a trap. And also to change over to another cash crop means years and years of waiting before that cash crop is ready to sell, and many poor families just don't have the option of waiting that long. So they're stuck in a bit of a trap.
The end result of this trap is that Ethiopia continues to produce mountains of coffee. Ethiopians are intensely proud of their reputation for good quality coffee, and each batch is brewed and tasted to grade it for export. But the whole industry is being slowly strangled by the coffee crisis. Farmers, roasters, tasters, exporters have all seen their income collapse. It's now having an effect on the national economy.
In terms of the economy as a whole, of course, it's been catastrophic. For the Ethiopian government itself, which has to pay for schools and health clinics, it's lost revenue. Something like 10 or 20% of the Ethiopian government's revenue comes from the sale of coffee. And of course that's plummeted as well. So that's less funds available for schools, for health clinics, for roads, etc., etc.
Ethiopia is already one of the poorest nations on earth. It rarely registers on the developed world's agenda unless a natural calamity like a drought pricks the world's conscience with pictures of millions facing starvation. The coffee crisis is slowly but surely having the same impact. But this tragedy is entirely man-made.